And now for your weekly dose of metal. Here are your hosts, Morgan Danielle and Luco Blaze on the Metal Experience.
All right, we just heard Distant Titans by Architects of Ruin and
song.
Aliens by Synovial. Hi, I'm Luco Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Sitting next to me is Greg Master Greg. Sitting over there is Trailer. Trailer's waving. And we're rocking out here at Fitz's Spare Keys. Morgan's breaking stuff for the third time with Funeral Nation. Why don't you guys go ahead and reintroduce yourselves to the Metal Experience world.
Chaz, I play guitar.
I'm Dean. I play drums.
Mike on bass and vocals.
Yeah. Everyone is here.
So, Morgan, do
Yes.
you have a little something?
I do.
Okay.
We are going back in time. The first time the guys were on the show was August 1st of 2017. And then reappeared for their second time on March 27th of 2018. So it's almost been a full year. So we usually do this for bands that have been on a third time. Very special little thing that we like to do. So I'd like you guys all to join hands, and we're going to close our eyes and pray to Satan. Just close your eyes and join hands. And let's sing Kumbaya. Luca?
Kumbaya, Morgan. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, Morgan. Kumbaya.
I'm so glad she was kidding.
Kumbaya,
I'm going to
Morgan.
chew my food and watch.
Can I
Not
open my
singing.
eyes now?
Greg, keep your eyes closed the whole time.
Yeah,
please.
you're not allowed to look at
I'm
anything,
Greg Master.
Yeah. So your
Greg's a big girl
VIP
now.
passes probably
Greg's a
aren't as
big
cool
girl
as
now.
the awesome passes you've accumulated over your 30 years, but
These are cool.
it's a little thing to say thank you, and you've joined us 3 times. God damn it, I'm just making this tripod worse. It's completely gone. It's dead. I killed it. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit about what's been going on the past year. The last time you guys were on our show was last March, so 30th anniversary. You guys
Wait,
have been
the
a
last time
band
you-
for 30 years.
The last time you guys were on was last March?
Yep.
I feel like you guys were on like 4 months ago, right? Okay, shit. Last March.
Well, we weren't on. We just been stalking you from the corners, so
Oh,
you've seen us.
perfect,
But
perfect.
we weren't on the show.
Perfect.
Perfect. Morgan?
Yes. No, you're not playing the box game with Greg. Anyway, so we were talking a little bit about off air before we started. So you guys last year had announced that you guys were going to be playing South America for the first time. And I thought by now you would have played it, but the date got pushed back again.
Yes.
So what is going on with South America and Funeral Nation going down south?
Go ahead, Dick.
Well, the our playing in South America is all based around the fest, Enemies of the Cross, and because of logistics of it or for whatever reason, the date kept getting changed on it. It happened last year. We were supposed to play last year, Enemies of the Cross #2, but the dates had gotten changed and we couldn't accommodate the new date. So we're like, all right, we'll do it. We'll play the third one this year. And then it was this similar thing to where it was they had a date, and then the reason why it keeps getting pushed back is because the promoter who does the fest also does a lot of bigger tours. So he was tied up with doing a tour for Destroyer 666 this year and a couple other bands. So the fest that's kind of his baby just kind of got put on hold a little bit. So now it's official. Ironically, I just got done talking to him yesterday. It's all official and approved, deposits made, and plane trips agreed upon and everything. And so the dates are set, and we'll be going to South America at the end of April.
Dang.
So how long is the festival, and how long will you guys be going down there? Because I mean, obviously, if you're traveling all the way down there, you want to do some tourism stuff. You want to hang out and kind of just enjoy your scenery. It's a long plane ride.
Yes, it is. About like 20 hours or something.
20-hour plane ride. All
Well,
right.
that's with layovers.
Oh,
you know,
okay, okay.
it's not a fun trip unless they make you sit in an airport in between flights for like 6 hours.
Well, don't
somewhere.
forget the 6-hour burro ride too down into the valley to go to the show.
Throw all
So
your
we
gear
got
on
that,
donkeys
right,
and
exactly.
But so yeah, but it's finally happening. So yes, this year.
this year.
This year.
Be
April.
there or be square.
Yes, South America. Finally, after 30 years of waiting, we get to come to South America.
Which
So-
is where our biggest fan base is. Anyway, is in
Yeah,
Santiago, Chile, I believe, is the biggest one
yeah,
we've got. So
That's pretty impressive.
yeah. We'll be going to Argentina as well.
That's
So-
awesome.
So if you're in Argentina, we're coming to see you too.
So how many total shows are you guys playing down there?
We're as of now just the two.
2?
We're playing a show in Argentina, and then we're playing the fest in Santiago, Chile, the following day.
Damn.
But I'm sure if enough of you people holler at the promoter and demand shows, they can always add shows.
Morgan, get at it.
Get at it,
I'm
Morgan.
gonna holla.
Pitter patter, get at her.
Patter, patter, get
Anybody
at her.
can do it. Morgan can do it.
Morgan can do
Oh
it.
yeah.
Grab the corn, get her going.
Plant the corn, get her going.
Right. And when you get done with them, give a call into Europe and tell them to get their shit together as well.
Yeah.
About bong.
Bong.
Yeah.
Forecheck, back check, paycheck, boys. Come on,
Hey,
Morgan.
yeah,
Get it going.
schmelt. Yeah, don't talk to your puck bunny like that. Schmelt.
So what would be the next place that you guys would want to play after you tackle South America? Like, what's ideal that you've never played that you'd be like, I want to go there next?
China.
China.
Damn.
China.
I've heard good things about going to metal shows in China. They just love it.
They
I'd like to find that out if that's true. And we've heard the same thing about it. And you know, we've been to Europe already. Now we get to go to South America. We've never been to South America. We've never been to China
Or Japan.
Or Japan. You know, it's whatever. You know, one of those.
Asia.
One
Hey,
of those.
don't be careful. You get in trouble for talking like that now.
One of those Asian places. You know, would be nice to go out there because we have heard a lot of good things about them and how crazy they are with metal and you know, same things that we've heard about South America and how they are with metal. We'd like to get everywhere. I mean, we would like to pollute the whole world with Funeral Nations music.
Morgan, what are you playing with over there?
I'm trying to put my broken tripod box
All I hear is
back in the box. Sorry. So the 30th anniversary, what do you plan on doing special for the 30th anniversary?
Well, do you want to know what we planned or what is really going to happen?
both. I want to know
First,
both.
Because we had a lot of plans.
First, get me really excited with all your plans.
Yeah, we had
and then
some-
disappoint me with what you're not going to do.
Yeah, we had some really awesome plans. See, our plan was we were going to go to South America at around this time, which is still on the book now official. We were very worried that we were going to have to write off South America as well. By the way, our last couple months have been going, and that was like going to be the last nail in the coffin. So for Luco here, we were going to just basically come in tonight and retire.
What?
We're coming in to retire.
But since our 30th got shit all over, but South America saved it. So as long as people still want us to come play, we won't retire.
There you go.
Does that sound like a deal?
It sounds like it was meant to be.
Okay.
Meant to be.
So yeah, our original plan was to play South America, and then we had a 2-week tour set up for Europe in September, October, and then we'd finish up in Texas on October 26th. And we had so we were going to release our new album
So this year or this will last
this year, 2019. Our as part of our 30th anniversary, we knew we were going to South America. We didn't know for how many dates, however many dates the promoter could get, we were going to do. So we'd have at least a small kind of tour, some shows, whatever, in South America. End of September, into early October, we were supposed to go to Europe for a couple of weeks. We were going to hit 9 countries in Europe.
Whoa.
And then when we got back from that, a few weeks after that, we were going to do Texas. So we were going to have our new album come out, have it coincide with the European tour. And that for a European release. And then it was going to be, the American release was going to coincide with us playing in Texas at the end of October.
You could play like 15 different places in Texas and
Right.
still not oversaturate Texas.
Exactly.
So-
And we do very well in Texas. So that would have been, it was the perfect place for us to release the new album. Ironic, it's better for us to do it in Texas versus Chicago, but that's a story for next year.
Okay.
Or after 3 more beers when we're angry.
3 more beers, please.
But the way things go, like I said, the European tour got canceled. So that put a pretty negative spin on our 30-year anniversary festivities, since we kind of based all of our plans around that. And we had a DVD coming out, and we were going to try to hope to come up with enough money to finance to put out all 3 of our albums on vinyl and do a box set.
damn.
Do a box set.
Yeah.
30-year anniversary, 3 vinyl box set. It was gonna be really fucking cool, I guarantee. But with the tour not happening and a lot of things, basically we were left with, well, if we can't tour and do shows, we can't sell records. There's no point of doing any of it.
Can you still do the Texas thing?
Texas
is still there.
That's still there.
Still there, Chess. It's
That's-
still there.
That's still there. And so, but like I said, we were pretty. It was looking grim.
We were done.
It was looking really grim.
Okay.
So,
And then South America totally comes back and redeems itself.
yeah,
Well, redeemed us anyway.
Redeemed you.
Yeah, it put a little fire back into it to us. There's people who've been hounding us for years to come down there.
Yeah.
For 30.
But the last few years, especially, I mean, I'm sure a lot of bands will tell you how much South America's blowing up for extreme music right
Yeah.
now. And we've had the pleasure of playing with a lot of South American bands that have come here.
Yeah.
So they come up here and we play with them here, and it's so it's a very happening scene down there. I mean, those people live for this shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, whereas it just seems like in America, it's a lot of like there's just people don't give a shit. Like there's just so much to do.
Yeah.
So much, that there's not that hunger to want to get off the couch to go see a show.
So then, for the European dates, now, were you guys planning going over there by yourselves, or are you going over there with someone else, or you just kind of hopping on shows here? And
No, it was
What-
gonna.
what was
The idea was, it was gonna be our tour, and we were gonna have the band Satanist from Pennsylvania
Okay.
with us, and so it'd be our, it'd be
Yeah.
our tour. But basically, what happened was there's some shits happened in Europe with these the gas taxes and a bunch of other shit. And the long story short, the promoter basically came back to us with, it's so fucking expensive to tour now there
Oh, okay.
that if we still wanted to do it, it went from us getting paid to us having to help pay to get us over, and we're like, we don't pay to play, It's
Yeah.
like we want to tour, but we're not gonna fly ourselves to somewhere to do any, not know, Again,
Yeah.
it's not about the money to us. So we know you're not going to get rich playing metal, but we also can't afford to get in debt
Yeah,
over
absolutely.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So So because basically, you know, you see what's going on in France. They're burning the fucking country down over gas. I guess gas went up to like $8 a gallon. I said liters there, but if you, it's like $7-8 a gallon, and to cover that kind of.
Whoa.
I mean, we're not Metallica, so
Yeah, right.
clubs aren't going to pay like huge amounts of money to get us to play, I guess. So there just wasn't enough money generated to cover the expense of
Yeah.
getting us from place to place. And once it became that it just didn't look like the promoter could make any money,
Yeah. Kind of.
it was like, you know, promoters that aren't going to make money aren't really thinking they
Now-
want to put a tour together with
How
you, I guess.
quickly can you kind of put a tour? I mean, not quickly, but how? If let's say Europe was out of the question, now why isn't somewhere in Asia not out of the question now? Can you?
Nothing's out of the question.
Okay.
If a promoter with deeper pockets wants to
Yeah.
contact us and say, I want to bring you over, or if a bigger band says we want to take you with us,
Yeah.
we'll pack our bags. You know, I mean, we're not going to say no to a good offer.
Absolutely.
You know,
So then,
but we're not 25-year-old kids living in our parents' basement
Yeah.
who or we're not going to do a GoFundMe so we can tour.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, we're open to anything if someone offers it, you know, but we're not going to pay to do it.
So then, now looking over to playing somewhere in Asia, doing a kind of changing that European tour idea to an Asia tour idea. Do you have any point of contact out there to now?
No.
Instead of Europe, just go to China. Okay.
No.
And then now,
For
is-
those that want Funeral Nation to come to Asia, please find your local promoter and get them over to your Asian country now.
there you go. The little disclaimer Morgan has.
You know, see, I'll let Mike kind of go back into the frustrating part of it. Is that over the last 3 years, we've hooked up with. Yeah, I'm telling him to talk about it, and then I'm talking about it. But,
I'm just going to agree with what he's saying right now.
but it's like yeah, because I'm the dumbass who deals with these people mostly. But we keep hooking up with companies who say they can do stuff for us, and they'll set this up and they'll set that up, and then we spend a year trying to get the logistics and put everything together, and then nothing happens. And it's a year later. We've wasted a year.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten anything out of it. There was one company that we worked with who promised us all these huge things. We invested a shitload of our own money to make tour shirts and all this merchandise because we were going to sell it on these tours we had set up, and then they just blew us off.
What a bunch of assholes.
You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, great. Now we have no shows, no tour, and I've got 250 shirts in the studio
For a tour that we're not.
for a tour that's not going to happen now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alpha Omega. You suck dick.
You know what? Do you still have those shirts? You should sell them and say that they were.
They're on our Bandcamp.
Okay. I was gonna
Anybody can
say,
buy them, and we've lowered prices. So,
We got blowout prices.
yeah,
Our European tour package shirts.
you know.
You should reprint over saying canceled.
Well,
Or
it
the
didn't
tour
have
that
it
ever
didn't
was.
have tour dates or anything on it.
No.
So it you could just call it a Funeral Nation shirt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't specific to that tour.
Gotcha.
But,
Gotcha.
You know, but
They were made for that.
But they
tour.
were made for it because we thought we were going to be over there for quite some time, and so we said, well, okay, let's make 200 shirts. So and take them with us, and now we had now we have 200 shirts that we have to move.
that are
and we
going
got
with
no
us to
shows.
South America.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
Those South Americans are going to be all over them.
We hope so.
Yeah.
You're going to come back with negative shirts.
That's
Like,
that's
there's
what
going
we-
to be a list of
Might have
people
to
just
sell the
wanting
shirt
you to
off
make
your back.
more.
Which is fine. They can have it. They can have it.
Yeah. Which is, but the funny thing is that the bootleggers shirts will
Oh
be
yeah, the
cheaper than
bootleggers.
ours.
We're gonna end up buying bootleg shirts of ours out there because they look really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of them, and
People
they
make-
do a hell of a job on them.
Bootleg shirts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That would be flattered.
Well,
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. No,
It
it's
is.
funny.
It is flattering.
It is-
Whoever is
it
making
really
the
is.
bootleg Metal Experience shirts, please send me a link. I want to see what
Well,
these look
yeah.
like.
Yeah, because we've talked to guys in other bands, bigger bands, and they're like, "Yeah, man, you guys got to get to South America. We see your shirts all over the fucking place, and we're like,
That's awesome.
And we
That's-
still have all of
and
our
that-
shirts.
That's
so.
cool, but we don't know where they're getting them from. But it's really awesome that I mean, like
got bootleg
the whole bootlegging thing is. It's like it's like wow, it's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, it's really cool that. I mean, that's how people know who the hell we are.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna get super mad about. Again, none of us thought we were gonna. That playing metal, especially as extreme as we do, is gonna pay our bills.
Yeah.
And we were right.
When you see a bootlegger in South America, trade him. Shirt for
I mean,
shirt.
we've
Don't pay for the bootleg.
No,
Just be
no.
like, here's a real one. Give
Yeah,
me
he
the
was-
one that you made.
But, I mean, we've found bootlegs in Chicago. So
Yeah,
Really?
they've
it's
been out
not
here
just
for,
South
yeah.
America; it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But that's the business.
Yeah. That's still like cool. They're meant to be like, what shirt is that? We never made that. That's awesome. But
Oh yeah, patches.
Oh yeah,
CDs,
a lot of patches. Yeah,
You name it.
yeah. I
you
mean,
name
they
it.
make some good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
they really do.
Sounds like you need to come back with a bunch of contacts and just commission them to make your stuff
Yeah,
for
right.
cheaper.
Hey,
Well,
that would be a good idea.
Let's play a Funeral Nation track. Let's go into reintroducing our listeners and those that have never heard Funeral Nation before to your music. So where do you want to start? The archive is open.
Go ahead, Chaz. You're not real talkative today. Pick a song. Any song.
What? Pick anything?
Anything.
What's your
Any
favorite
single-
song that you've written?
Oh, you can't do that with him.
th-
You can't do that with him. You
He likes
cannot
them all
ask him
equally.
that.
Remember,
I asked for
we had that
questions
discussion
here.
last year.
Oh, okay, well, just make it simple. Just play Funeral Nation.
There you go.
The titular track. Here's Funeral Nation by the one and only Funeral Nation.
Christian abomination in my head. We've been raising telespecs on children of the world. Got a spell, John Bell, I'll meet you down in hell. Evil, my blanket heart, my mind is with death. Fire, Satan, take my soul. My flesh is ripped from my body. My soul exposed. Satan into me and destroy the Christian faith. When you stand here tonight to raise the fires of hell, we reign with evil down. Our purpose is to kill. In time you will see. We are the Trinity. Funeral Nation. Praise must have run in fear. Funeral Nation now is here. Run to your holy land. Soon you will understand. Life and death is one in the same. Life and death is only a game that you lose. Pray to the Holy Son. We are spirits that as one.
Hey, come check out Small Town Mentality Podcast with your host Ben and
Austin,
we are on every Thursday morning.
with tips on how to be a more efficient racist.
No, we don't do that.
Also, best ways to bag your sister in the sack.
No, I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Also, we do impressions.
We don't do that either. We do have some buttons that we push sometimes.
And black people.
Anyways, you can check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and everywhere you get a podcast.
You can find us closest to your nearing burning cross.
No, you can't. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at STM Podcast. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
This is not rock and roll! You're goddamn right.
This is the Metal Experience, and now back to Morgan and Luco.
All right, we are back once again. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze, webmaster Greg joining us just to chill tonight, and Trailer Swift just hanging in the house.
Trailer.
Trailer.
Come on over here, trailer.
We're hanging with Funeral Nation for their third time on our show, discussing the 30-year anniversary of the band, tour plans, and more. That was the titular or self-titled Funeral Nation track, Funeral Nation. And when did you guys first write that song?
There you go, Mike. Mike, you can explain this one. Take it all the way back.
1,000 years ago.
More than 30 years ago.
Yeah, more than 30 years ago. Actually, me and Chez wrote that song. I don't know. When was it? 87?
87.
This is before 87.
87, before most of you fucking people were born.
I was born in 86.
So you remember it, huh?
Yeah, I remember when that
yeah.
song came out. My mama showed me that song. God damn, they played that at my first birthday.
At the bar mitzvah?
No.
Yeah, no, I believe it was in 1987 that we wrote that song.
No, you recorded it in 87.
Recorded in 87. I don't know when we wrote it. I don't know.
Chaz,
I was a toddler, scribbling with crayons in my crib. I don't know.
Crayons.
86?
That was one of the first ones.
86, yeah. It's, oh, God.
Yeah, we first got together with just song after song after song.
Oh, my God. Hold on a second. I just realized how old I was. All right, I'm back. All right.
I'm back.
I don't think that way.
We wrote that. Well, we wrote that when me and Chaz were with Abomination. We actually wrote that song, along with a couple other ones that we rehashed through the years. But yeah, me and Chaz been together a long time. But
It was originally titled Abomination.
it was originally titled Abomination. It was, and
Came back and did it in the original form with Funeral Nation. You know, all these years later.
well, yeah. I mean, the song got kind of put put away for a long time, and then we rehashed it. 2 years ago? 2
Yeah.
years
Well,
ago?
and then put a whole second part to it, right?
I don't want to.
Huh?
I don't want to. Made the song that became Misery.
No.
That part?
With Funeral Nation, at the end, so the second half of that is new, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
So the first half of it was the original Abomination song.
Yes.
And then the second half of the song we added to in 2017.
Yes, we did.
So it's
It's
new and
it's
The revamped version.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a Funeral Nation remix.
It's 2.0 is what it
2.0.
is. Yeah, it definitely evolved from where it was, and again, it was a song that was put in, set up in the cobwebs for a long time. So, but yeah, it's one that needed to be done again, and I'm glad that we did rehash that song again because it's a lot of fun to play, and it's a good tune, powerful. It sends a good message of who we are.
yeah, the good message all of our songs.
That's all right. Yeah, there is
That's a real good message. Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, let's play another Funeral Nation track, because when we come back, things are going to get tough to answer, because we're going to take a step back 30 years ago and and start to learn a little bit about Funeral Nation and what they thought of each other at the beginning
here
of the
we go.
band.
Oh, here.
We're going to get the dirt tonight, guys.
Here
so
comes
get
what's
ready.
your favorite
Nerdy
food
dirt.
questions, right?
Oh man.
No. We'll get more in depth to that. So the next track that you want to play, anybody, shout something out. You've got plenty of a discography to
Dino.
choose from.
Oh, Jesus. it's hard when you're put on the spot, you know? It really
You got
is.
a ton to choose from.
Benediction of Faith.
All right. And what album is this off of?
Open wide the gates of hell.
All right. Here we go. More Funeral Nation for your ear
remember this song.
holes.
Flowers now decay, the end draws ever near. Sorrow eases happiness, but I will shed no tear. Fear will awaken passion, the doubt will fall truth. I turn my eyes up to the skies and laugh at only fools. Take me to the place I've seen so many years ago. I'm bending these, I'm breaking thee in the base of nature's throne. I've been from these who scream for once into a bloody sky. Satan grant me just one wish and let there be a die. Eclipse the light of day, got strength from the light. Take your fury, motionless, and let it stick of light. Now I will pose a question. Answer me if you can. Who will you choose to guide you into the promised land? Choose wisely for this motto. Your life it may depend. There's no one here to help you. And your life is at an end. Sit with me and gaze upon the final setting sun. The human race, as we all know, it is finally done. The visions of the things to come I've seen right through my eyes. Holy Christian bastard one, it's time for you to die. Sit with me and look upon, you'll see the black moon rise. The day's begun, it's time for us to bring the legions up. You made your choice, you passed the test to determine now your fate. To see the way you know the lies of the benediction of faith.
This is Jeff.
This is Linus,
We're in the band Nephilim.
and you're listening to the Metal Experience.
Woo! All right, we just heard Benediction of Faith by Funeral Nation. I am Luke O'Blaze with Morgan Danielle. Trailer, give me the stank eye. And Greg Master, Greg
I'm
who?
a Greg Master.
Greg's a big girl now.
Greg's a big
And that was
girl now.
another tasty track by Funeral Nation. Morgan, take it away. I know you've got some plans for these gentlemen tonight.
So I wanted to get information for you guys because obviously you've known each other for quite some time now. So 30 years in the making of Funeral Nation. Do you remember what your first impression was of your band members?
Okay.
Could be looks,
well,
smells,
let's see.
feelings.
Looks, smells.
No, well, honestly, at the time, I mean, we were practicing in Ranger Studio in Oak Park, and
Well, you might as well start with who you were with at the time.
and I was with a bass player named Alex Castellanos, and Aaron Nickias was playing drums, and Mike Gaynor was doing vocals, and it was like it was just a weird day where Mike wasn't there and Alex didn't have a ride there, and a friend I know, Donald Casper, he's no longer around. You know, he passed away years ago. He brought Mike over.
Oh. Bev.
Now, I really don't remember clearly what we did, but we were playing something, and it was like an immediate click for me.
I was just playing bass, though, at the time. I was just playing bass.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the time.
When the vocals came into play, it was like really, I was just sold. But I mean, what was that? It was the bass first.
I was playing bass at the time, trying out for the band, and Chaz liked what I was doing, so
Chaz got rid of Alex.
And so Chaz had a couple of songs on tape that he had recorded. He gave them to me to learn, and I'll tell you what they were. What they became was Rain of Death, Midnight Hour, Sign of Baphomy, and Maniac were the 4 songs that he had given to me. And they weren't that at the time. They were, I don't know, some love song about something and an army
They were
man
quite love songs.
I don't know what
they
the
weren't.
hell
They weren't as heavy. But
yeah, but, you know, so he had given them to me, and I took them home, and I just kind of started fucking around with some lyrics, and I ended up doing Sign of Baphomy is what it was. The next time I went back is when Gaynor didn't show up. And so I had asked Chaz, hey, do you mind if I, try this? And I think we got about 30 seconds into Sign of Baphomy, and Aaron stopped playing drums. He got up and he left. He came back in and said, all right, Mike's gone, you're the singer. And that was it.
So note to all you young people in bands out there, don't miss practice.
Yeah, don't miss practice. And that's where it started. And me and Chaz started working together, and after that, it clicked. I mean, it was something that worked out real well.
It was a freakish immediate click. I knew it.
The same with me, and the feelings. If you ask about what they were good. I mean, he still is. He's a hell of a fucking songwriter. I mean, he's one of the best that I've ever seen with songs. And what he writes almost to my exact style of my writing. So there's not a lot of, well, gee, I wonder what we can do here. It's no, here's what we're going to do here. And I know where he's going. I know where he wants to go with it. He knows where I want to go with the vocals and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of unsaid easiness when it comes to that. So again, immediately it was, this guy's all right, at least in my opinion.
Well, you liked them enough to move here from California.
Yeah, and I moved back from California that was in the plans anyway. He just put it over the top. So,
made it official.
Yeah, so, it's from that time I met him, and before some of you were born here, it was an immediate attraction, to styles of music that we were playing. So, all right, I'm done. Go.
Yeah, we're both going in the same direction. So.
Now, over the years, who has become the most hard-headed?
For the listeners, they all pointed their fingers at each other.
What's been the worst argument you guys have gotten into a fight over?
Dang, hashing up
I
some
don't-
shit.
I don't even know if I can even answer that. You know, there's been times over just, I don't know, maybe it's just life in general, or, you know, the shit that life throws at us. You know, to where sometimes you just need to be away from each other. You know, there for a long time back in the past, we didn't take a break. You know, we went through the thick and thin shit. We went through the bad times. We went through the good times. We never stopped. You know, and that took a toll on us at one point. You know, there's where we didn't talk for a long time.
Now, by long time, what's the time span?
Years.
Years?
Years.
Yeah, everything came to a head in '97. Everything came to a head in late '97, and it got ugly.
So how long did you take off and then you became a band again?
How long was it? It was a long fucking time.
13 years.
13 years.
13 years?
13-year hiatus.
So within that 13-year hiatus, does that count toward the 30
That's
years
what that's
together?
up to your that's up to your personal discretion.
Well, you know what? Funeral Nation never broke up. I mean, Funeral Nation was always still Funeral Nation.
See, we didn't see. Here's the thing. It's like we didn't do anything else. We just stopped playing. I mean, Chaz went and jammed with some other guys.
Chaz didn't touch his guitar for 3 fucking
10
years
years.
after that. I mean, literally once. I think I picked it up for like 3 times.
Yeah, neither me or Mike played at all for those 13 years.
So, I mean, Funeral Nation never got together to do Funeral Nation stuff. You know, so yeah, it counts.
It counts,
know,
Morgan.
So what sparked the fire to get back together? Who reached out to who first?
South America.
Yeah, it was South America. South America just keeps saving this band.
No, it is. I got contacted by, by someone in South America who wanted to, you know, release some Funeral Nation stuff. Now, at that point in time, I still had a lot of material there in my pocket. Some things were recorded that weren't done. Nothing was done with it. At the time that we had stopped talking, we had just done a 5-song tape that nobody heard. You know, there was a bunch of live shit out there. So basically, I ran Dean down pretty much, talked to a couple of friends and figured out how to get a hold of him. I go, well, hey, look, you know, this cat in South America wants to put some stuff out. You know, if we do it, you know, I'd rather, you know, you be a part of it, and let's just do this, and we'll seal everything up. Well, that started growing. You know, so we had to figure out how to reach Mike. Then it was like, well, okay, do we want to, like...
Well, remember, you didn't, Chaz. I showed up.
Yeah.
Is what happened.
That was the thing.
It doesn't mean we didn't try.
Right.
So nobody could find me.
Mike's been very
I'm
good
trying to
over
put it
the
in a
years.
nutshell here.
Mike's been very good over the years at disappearing
I
when he
could
wants
disappear.
to.
Getting off the
should,
grid.
I should work for the feds.
Yeah,
But
Mike called us the day before the show and goes, can I...
No, the day of the show.
Day of the show.
The day of the show was.
So Chaz was singing then at the time. And so I showed up to...
No, you called me.
I called you,
was,
and, yeah, I called you, right.
I'm sitting in my kitchen, and 2 hours before we're getting load up to go to this show, play this show, and he's like, "Hey, man." So I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know, and it's like, okay, we haven't spoken in years, and and again, me and Chaz have been back together now for like 3 years at that point. And this is like our first show back,
wait, Mike, how did you even find out they had a show?
I don't know where I saw
Oh, it had to be Facebook.
Facebook or something. I saw it on there.
He was spying on us.
Well, I was spying.
He wouldn't talk to us, but he was keeping up on us.
I was keeping an eye on what
tabs.
was going on.
Secretly, he's peeking through your windows.
And so, it had to be on Facebook.
Yeah, and he calls me. He's like, "Is it okay if I come to the show?"
I was trying to be nice.
And I go,
I was going anyway, but
I go, yeah, dude. I go, fuck. Why don't you sing a tune with us? You know. And so then I get off the phone with him, and I immediately call Chaz. I'm like, dude, you are not gonna fucking believe who just called me.
Now, was it the same number or a different number that Mike called you from?
It was my cell number, right?
No. Did you have a different number that you called
No.
him on? No.
No.
So this whole time you could have called his old number,
yeah, he could have too.
and you didn't. You couldn't find him, but you had his phone number.
No, it's not that set. No, we're not gonna get into.
I
all
didn't
that.
have anybody's fucking number.
No, because
Talking about.
because because see, I had talking to Mike years earlier. See, now you get the nitty gritty because she's pushing. You got divorced and moved out of the house, so the number I knew you at no longer lived there.
No, at the house number, no, I was not there.
You know, I went out to the house one time looking for him, and I was greeted by
He doesn't live
his
here
ex-wife and his kids saying, "Where's Daddy? I don't know." You know,
Okay.
so. But we don't want to go. That's not what we want to talk about. You know?
Fuck that.
So that is why that number didn't
It was
work.
20 years ago.
That's why that number didn't work, is because Daddy didn't live there no more.
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck I was at that time, but
That was when you were like couch surfing.
I was all over the place. I don't know.
So I tell Chaz, I'm like, guess who just fucking called me, you know? And I told him, I go, what it, you know, he asked, and Chaz was like, yeah, I don't care. We didn't, by that time, no one held any
Grudges.
hatred or grudges, you know. And it was at Bobby McGee's.
Oh boy.
And we played, and Mike showed up, and we had him come up for our last show, which is like Sign of Baphomy's always been kind of our
paranoid.
It's our
trademark.
It's our trademark
It's
song.
our encore, basically. You know.
You know, it's a song. You know, like every band has that song that if you don't play it at a show, your crowd will kill you.
Yes.
It's that song. So we did it last, and we had Mike come up on stage and sing it.
We hadn't played in how many years either. I mean, it wasn't something that we rehearsed, so it went over pretty well, I thought.
Yeah. Well, you can go on YouTube and see the video.
That's
I was
honor.
gonna say, did somebody get footage? of this?
Somebody filmed it. It is on YouTube.
That's awesome.
And we got, you know, and then, you know, so we had some beers, and then me and Chaz talked, and it was like, we're like, dude, we just gotta go back to what we were. You know what I mean? That's what always clicked best, right? So it just worked, and you know.
Well, we'll get more into it. Let's play another Funeral Nation track,
Hell yeah.
and then we'll continue Life Lessons with Funeral Nation after a quick commercial break. The next Funeral Nation track that you would like to hear.
This one we haven't fucking heard in a long time.
There's so much to choose from.
Well, we did new.
Right.
We picked we picked 90s. Now you pick something off after the
We gotta
battle.
go after the battle, right? All right, then.
There's not a wrong answer. That whole album
So
kills.
you might as well do after the battle.
Best.
All right. After the Battle by Funeral Nation.
Fancy ball soldier, here's my mirror image now. The battle, the bomb again ceased. His blood defined my head. I give you injustice, but my strength needs no defense. The twisting of my brain, the possession
Hey, I'm Braulio.
And this is Gus.
And we're Savagery, and you're listening to The Metal Experience.
All right. Well, you heard it once. We heard it twice. That was After the Battle by Funeral Nation off of After the Battle. So we were getting into talks, getting deep into the conversation of the hiatus that Funeral Nation went through and how they reconciled and got, back into making more music and fun things happening in their journey together. So Bobby McGee's Mike comes back, joins you on stage after not hearing from him. So first practice that you guys decided, so after Bobby McGee's and Mike's on stage with you guys, how do you say, Mike, come back to the band? Like join us
Come back
again.
to the dark side.
Just like that.
Just like that?
It was like we all kind of like looked at each other and was like, so what do you think? And then it was kind of like me and Chaz went back and kind of discussed it because it would have changed the, kind of what we had going on.
Well, it's funny
because
because originally it started with Mike and Chaz, and then you and Chaz without Mike. It's like both of you guys have been with Chaz, like without each other.
Everybody's been with Chaz.
Right. Or. Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Chaz is like the Tony Iommi.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Face it, I mean, Chad's been the catalyst for this for the whole time. I mean, so, but the more you really look at what we've done, and when we're missing one piece, it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same.
So, I mean, anything can be done, but it seems that once we're all together and doing the stuff that we do, that's when we end up with stuff we really like and stuff that we enjoy playing. And when we're in this mode of doing it, we actually enjoy being with each other too. So, it's been working out real well here. And again, with this South America thing coming up now, kind of re-energized us to hit it hard again, one more time.
Hail Satan.
We can listen to that song next.
Yeah.
So what was the first track that you wrote together after that hiatus? Like what album came next? What song did spark your?
Before the Dawn, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, me and Chaz did an EP without Mike before Mike came back in 2013.
We did an Unseen first, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Unseen was the first one that we did. That's right. That was the first one that we did, was Unseen. That's right.
We've done a couple of not really released those on Funeral Nation recordings.
Under the Funeral Nation flag?
Yeah, but the first one we recorded and released after with the three of us after the break was before
the Dawn. Yeah, that was the one.
And it was like nothing happened. You guys were all back together. And
well, no, there was a weird like
vibe.
Well, no, what happened was, and again, it's so obviously when Mike didn't reach, we had some time there when it was me and Chaz, and we brought in Chaz's son Chris to play bass because we didn't have Mike.
We needed a functioning bass player, or we wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Yeah, we still needed to be a band. Well, we brought Mike back into the band, and we're like, well, it's not fair to just give the kid the boot. You know what I mean? I mean, he was dedicated. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve to get fired just because Mike came back. So we made the decision. Well, let's be a four-piece. He could play rhythm guitar. Mike can resume his spot, and we'll move forward. We went and played in Europe that way. We toured, did a tour in Europe in 2014. That as a four-piece for the first time ever being a four-piece, and it just didn't work. I mean, I think that.
You should have gone with two basses.
And
that was your problem.
And again, this is not saying anything negative towards Chris. It's just that after a while, Chris was like, I just don't want to do this no more, and he left, and once we got back to being the three-piece that we are, that's when it really hit us how this feels right. You know, that's when at least that's how I perceived it. You know, it was like once we got back to being the three-piece again, the one that we had been back in the 90s and all that, it just felt more natural. Everything became easier for us at that point. The write, it just we started writing like it just felt it felt right again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anything negative towards Chris. It's just that when we just needed to be a three-piece. That's how it worked.
Was anything ever recorded and released with Chris?
Yeah, the Wicked EP.
The Wicked EP?
Yeah.
Where did you guys record that?
In our studio.
Now, currently, is there new music in the works, new album being planned?
Yes.
Do you want to elaborate?
No.
But we can expect new Funeral Nation.
There are new songs that we are working on right now. Putting plans together for this tour, that the Europe tour. I mean, we had planned on releasing an album, and since that has fallen through, the songs are still there.
There'll be some new songs played in South America.
Nice. Very exciting. And
So-
they get to hear it first then.
They will get to hear it first.
You should, and this is just an idea, you should try to find somebody to just record you guys live playing those songs and release just a live copy of you guys in South America and only have them as like live tracks and play them live.
That's good.
I'm sure that'll be done.
Well, ironically enough, on October 26th of last year, we did do a show where we recorded audio and videotaped the entire show. And we've already released a couple songs. It was a 3-camera shoot, and so we did record that show live. And we've slowly been putting some of those songs out, and eventually we might put the whole show out. But if you go to our Facebook page, and as we said previously, we're gonna, after we do this show, so either later tonight or tomorrow, we're going to post the third and final video that was done from that show. That's been edited.
What?
So.
That's awesome. So new video we will share tomorrow after we post the interview. Look at our page. We'll share Funeral Nation's video. It's going to be awesome. Well, let's play another Funeral Nation track before Luke goes, hey, look what I found. So what's the next pick?
You play like a whole album.
All right, well, let's...
It's back to Chaz.
Looped back. Chaz, it's
well,
on
here,
you.
What we could do is we said that we were going to release the video tomorrow.
Yes.
The song we're releasing tomorrow on video is Satan's Prey.
I was just looking at that track. It's like it spoke to me. All right, here we go. Satan's Prey. And this is just for you too, Greg, because I know you love Satan. Here we go.
evil speak, you listen, you don't turn your head away. You're pumping in your mind, you do whatever the fuck they say. The thought of Satan frightens you when your mind is stabbed to death. Fear the face of evil, Satan awaits your last breath. Worship him, call his name, watch the night, engulf the day, your sins burn.
You're listening to The Metal Experience.
We've assembled a collection of bands who have drummers.
I do magic.
Well, it's easy if you try, Dick. Now sit back and listen.
Hey yo, it's Troy Adams from the podcast Wrestling Society. Every single Wrestling Wednesday, we bring you brand new episodes where we review the best and worst of professional wrestling eras of the past, as well as the biggest current events in professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Search for us on YouTube, where we have hilarious WWE Network watch-alongs, reviews of terrible shows, and other great content. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodRes Society, and we're available on all podcast platforms. Come join the Society.
Woo! I'm Luco Blaze, and I love sucking big, fat cock. All right, we got that out of the way. You just heard Satan's Prey. Hell yeah, that was a badass motherfucking song.
I guess no better time than the present to come out, huh?
This is why you're not on radio, Greg. This is why you're only
I
on
broke the
recorded
camera.
Metal Experience. What
Wait,
camera?
what?
All right. Well, it's about that time, Luco. Are you ready to breathe and say what you have to say?
I don't know, Greg. Am I?
Yeah, you are ready.
Okay.
Just get that cock out of your mouth, and you'll be ready to read.
Perfect.
Now it's time for
Hey man, look what I found!
Only on the Metal Experience.
All right, this week and every week brought to you by our friends at Imprint Recordings. Your music, your imprint. Visit imprintrecordings.com for more information for all your recording needs. This week we have the band Gothic, courtesy of Loud Rage Music, based in Transylvania. Greg, where are they from? This band.
Petrosani, Romania.
Perfect. And we got a twofer.
We were supposed
This
to go
is
there.
Destroying the
Until we got
Masses and Catacombs. Morgan, set that shit up.
Do you want to hear a fucking podcast about anything and everything? Like movies, music, television, and more? Oh my god. Well, you've come to the right place. Subscribe to Journey into Comics Network, and you get Podcastrophe, hosted by me, Dick. Why not throw a couple bucks to the Patreon? It's your choice. Yeah. This is a Podcastrophe.
That sounds so awesome.
And now, back to the metal experience.
Did you say hookers and blow?
No, I said the metal experience.
That's not nearly as good.
Fuck you. Will you wear the blood? So swallow it up.
All right, that was Gothic, courtesy of Loud Rage Music, based in Transylvania. And that band was from Romania. That was Destroying the Masses and Catacombs. We are back rocking out in the back of Fitz's Spare Keys.
Woo.
Morgan Danielle, Luca Blaze, and Greg Master.
I'm a Greg Master.
He's a big girl now. And we're rocking out here with Funeral Nation still. Morgan, take it away.
Smale Soden.
More with Funeral Nation. So, we talked a little bit about coming off the hiatus and the music that you're making now and going to South America. So, as of right now, what are all the places online that people can find everything and everything Funeral Nation?
We have a Bandcamp page. So Funeral Nation Bandcamp, whatever, which you could get to through Shop Now on our Facebook page. We have our funeralnationband.com website that has links to everywhere you can get our stuff. You can go to eBay. You can go to Amazon. You can go... You can go to FYE, go to Best Buy. My advice on places like Discogs or Amazon or places like that, buy from us directly if you want the best deal and not to get jerked around, and you're also then helping the band, because there's a lot of people selling our stuff. So
You can get everything off of
stuff.
well, no, I mean there's even the stuff that was put out by labels, that have the labels that have good distribution. I mean they're the one, they got our stuff in, like I said, Best Buy, FYE, on Amazon. But like on Amazon and at Discogs or eBay, we're on there too. So if look at who's selling and Funeral Nation, you're getting it from us, and we always throw in little extra stickers and shit. And 9 out of 10 times we're always going to be the cheapest because,
You don't have to mark it up.
Exactly.
Are there any shows that you're playing in Chicago coming up?
No.
Nothing booked in the States.
With a smirk on his face.
I burned down a church to see you guys play. Hell, I'll burn down a church any day. Smale Soden.
Would you play a show that burned down a church?
Get a keg and we'll play your living room.
Get a keg and we'll play your living room, Greg.
Woo! Okay.
Greg's living room is my basement, so...
All right.
So I guess
keg
we're
on.
your house.
Keg on.
Keg on.
I tell you, some of the best shows ever were back in the day at people's houses with a keg.
Oh, the house shows are so much fun.
Luca's
fucking no
Luca's
rules.
Garage and
House shows.
Cramming 300 people into somebody's backyard.
Get a couple of 20 kegs and it's a
Villa
party.
Park's where it's at. Tapping
VP.
in Villa Park.
VP.
What's the craziest thing you ever saw at a house show that Funeral Nation played at?
Shit.
Oh, man, you're asking. I don't remember.
Us?
Dean was too drunk to remember.
Well, yeah. Shit.
Shit.
Oh, I remember one. I saw a dude get knocked out a window.
Damn.
Like
On
in
what
a
floor?
in like, huh?
What floor?
Well, it was like the first floor, but it was probably 5 or 6 steps up.
Yeah.
Like one of those bungalow type houses, And, you know, people were kind of like moshing in the living room, and dude went sailing right out the window and ended up in the gangway between the two houses.
Holy shit.
That was pretty fucking nuts.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he lived. You know,
He lived.
When you're that when you're drunk enough to get knocked through a window, you're probably, you know,
a little more flexible and
flexible
loose.
enough to hit and bounce.
Yeah, you bounce a little bit better.
How was playing Europe? What was your?
It was great. That's why we really wanted to go back.
I've never been there. So.
It's awesome. It's really cool.
In Europe, Funeral Nation is considered royalty.
Funeral Nation. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. Hail Satan.
What's the craziest thing that you saw happen at a European show?
Oh, Mario and that guy,
God.
Skull Crusher.
Oh my God.
Great.
So an elaboration for those that don't know.
Okay. So you want to tell a story?
No, go ahead.
I've been
Go
talking
ahead.
all night, man.
Go ahead. No,
You're
keep
leaving.
going. You
You're
have
leaving.
a
You can
wonderful speaking voice. Go ahead. Keep going.
So we played this awesome club called Skull Crusher in Dresden, Germany. Fucking great place. I highly recommend it.
Cool.
And it was after the show, and they have like a backstage area upstairs where the bands can hang out. And they got a bar up there, and it's real nice setup. And we're up there hanging out, and when we were on tour, and one of the guys on the road with us, you know, who was like
Our bodyguard.
our handler kind of dude, you know, his name was Mario, and we called him the Bavarian Bulldog.
Bulldog. Yes,
And anyhow, so it's late. We've been drinking after the show at this place, Skull Crusher, and some guy who had enough connection to the club was able to get up there because it was like a backstage area kind of a thing. So he starts talking to Mike, and Mike's drunk, and when Mike's drunk, everybody's his friend, and so Mike gives the guy a CD, right? And the guy is like, "Cool, thanks," you know, and he.
No, it's sealed.
It's a new brand new sealed CD.
Yeah.
And so the guy goes to put away, and Mario's like, well, you know, well, aren't you gonna open it? He's like, no, I'm not gonna open it. You know.
Then the guy that wanted us to sign his jacket.
No.
Was that the other one? Okay, all right.
So the guy didn't want to open the fucking CD. So Mario went fucking nuts. Okay? And
Is that like really disrespectful or something?
Yeah.
The guy was going to sell it.
Yeah. He goes, he went nuts. He's like, you piece of shit, motherfucker. They give you a fucking CD and you're going to disrespect them and fucking sell it? He goes, you piece of shit garbage. How dare you?
Took it out of his pocket and opened it.
Yeah, and he was going to kill him. I mean, he was going to fucking kill him right there in that club. People had to fucking break it up. And it was we're sitting there like, holy shit, you know? I'm like, when we come back to fucking Europe or Germany, whatever, we want that guy on our tour again because I mean, he's a dude you want on your side, you know, on your team.
That's cool.
And I never even thought of that. Like, I get CDs from places all the time that are wrapped. I don't think of like opening it right in front. Oh, hold on one second. Let me open this really quick. I'm not going to sell it. No, it's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to listen to this in my shower.
No, he took it as like a huge, like that we had been disrespected and the dude needed to die for disrespecting us. You know, and had people not stepped in, he may have died.
Oh, jeez.
So that was pretty.
I had the one guy at the other show where he was asking me about beer, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, well, you know, you're in America, so you have a lot of, you know, it's not like you're over there where you got like your purity laws and everything. Most beers are really good." This guy's like, you know, yeah, well, this is a good beer, you know, this and Mario, jumped on the
Yeah.
fucking guy. Don't fucking tell him that shit. That's fucking shit beer. He goes, that beer is for like women and children. He goes, I drink that shit. And I'm like going, well, it's probably better than the shit that I normally drink back home anyway,
For women and children.
But I mean, you're talking about a guy who lives in Bavaria,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking he knows his beer,
The
right?
Bavarian Bulldog, of course.
That's hilarious. Who would have guessed?
Mario. This is going out to Mario. Woo.
Yeah, let's dedicate the next track to Mario for being so badass and hope that you can reunite with him next time you're over in Europe. What track was Mario's favorite?
Well, you'd have to ask Mario, but
Well, Mario's not here, so choose for him.
Midnight Hour.
Do a Midnight Hour.
All right, in the
This
midnight
this
hour.
one's for him too.
Here
This
he
one's
is.
for Gregory.
Because he's been saying it all night.
Hail Satan.
The dawn sounds of gold, the thoughts of darkness. The darkness speaks, hail Satan. The bells held high by the priest. Sacrifice begins tonight. Like us at the midnight sky, the just breaks the walls of moon. Clear the air, my father's coming soon. Satan, hear me cry tonight. I need no one to tell me wrong or right. Who will rub the earth, prepare the most of the aftermath. Breathe down, raise the blade, plunge it down towards the breast. Bitch, blind, you're superior. I teach you, gotta keep you to spill your blood. I need you, drink your soul, belongs to me. Ungodliness, I'll feed your lungs, I'll fuck you till you bleed. Lightning strikes at midnight, out the bells begin to chime. To the side, you're up, and sooner now you all are mine. We discover a gate around the cauldron. The congregation speaks, hail Satan. Demons rising up from hell. The walls gather round and cast a spell. Incantations break the sack united by the smell. Before this evil night is over, we'll be one with hell. Satan, hear me cry tonight. You know what to tell me, Roger. Rely on the run the earth. Prepare the most for the aftermath. Breathe down, raise the blade, punch it down towards the breast. Bitch, blind, you superior, I get you, gotta keep you to spill your blood. I need you, sing your soul, belongs to me. But God, it looks like with, so your blood is all I need. Lightning strikes at midnight, out the bells begin to chime. Do the same, you will get sooner, now you all are mine.
I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into.
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
Stuff like that?
yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever? Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
right, we are back. I am Morgan Danielle with Luco Blaze,
Greg's a big girl
webmaster,
now.
or girl, Greg. That was Midnight Hour by Funeral Nation. Another awesome track off After the Battle. So Mike's gone now, guys. Mike had to go to work, so we can share, Chaz and Dean, most embarrassing moment that you've ever had with Mike in the band. And he's going to have to listen to this later, but he has no idea that we're talking about him now.
Okay, I don't know if this is. No, I can't. It's not a story I can tell.
You've nothing from on stage or being on tour with him or anything embarrassing that he's done that you were like, really, Mike? Really?
Yeah, I got a really dick move Mike story.
Let's hear Dick Move Mike's story.
He's not here. Mike brought a female to my apartment one night.
Is that a no-no?
No, I don't care about that. But what he did was he gave her my name instead of his own. So
what was his reasoning for that?
I guess he just didn't want this female to know who he was, but thought it was hilarious that she thought he was me. Or thought, well, I don't know, however that works, but he picked up a strange lady at the Thirsty Whale and brought her home to my apartment.
Thirsty Whale.
Did the dirty, nasty deeds or whatever they did. I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end
The
of
whole time she was calling him Dean.
Yeah.
Yes, Dean. Yes, Dean.
I don't know what they were
Dean,
saying.
please,
I don't know
Dean.
what they were saying, but he just thought it was fucking hilarious that he told her his name was Dean. So.
What you got, Chaz?
I don't got nothing.
Hey, dick move from Mike from you? He ate all your bacon.
Bacon.
I wouldn't be happy with that. Bacon is life.
Just came over to your house, ate all your bacon, and
No, it
took
was like
off?
early in the morning. We were heading out to do a show somewhere. I think it was in Michigan or somewhere. I don't remember. So I had like a plate of bacon, you know?
How many exact pieces of bacon on said plate?
I don't know, 7 or 8.
Okay. That's a good amount of bacon.
That's
He
good.
just
That is
grabs a
good amount of bacon.
He just grabbed it all. In one handful. And he shoved it in his mouth, and I'm like, "God, are you fucking kidding me?"
Dick move, Mike.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. And it was funny watching him walk like a caveman over the live wire when he was hammered.
Oh,
It's like, I'd never seen him fucking walk like that before. It's like, where'd Mike go? Where'd Mike go? Don't know. We're looking outside for him. Don't know where the fuck he's at. And you see him coming walking down the sidewalk, and he's like,
Yeah, he was so fucked up. He was so
He
fucked
was
up he couldn't
fucking
walk.
wasted.
Although he walked that same way in Texas after the show in Texas.
we were at the bar, and he orders a drink. He signs because he had a tab going,
Yeah.
so he just signs a receipt. Our mate turns around, gets his drink, comes back over to me, and he's gone. She's like, "Where'd the fuck did he go?"
He just
Wasted.
Just wasted. Took
Just
his drinks
wasted.
and left.
He didn't even take his drink. He
Oh.
just signed the paper and turned around and walked off.
Before he got his drink.
And he was drinking Crown Royals. It wasn't like he was signing for cheap
Yeah,
drinks.
he was fucking hammered. I can't say too much. I've been hammered a lot of times in my day.
Have you ever been hammered enough to sign your tab and walk away without your drink?
No.
Okay.
No.
The drink that he had just ordered. Is that
Yes. And paid for.
And paid for, and then he's like,
Yeah, double Crown on the rocks, probably
Double-
$12-$14, and just walk away.
Greg?
There was a funny story from way back in the day when we had first started. I think it was even before Dean was around, and there was this and I don't remember the guy's name, but I mean he was out there. He was a little bit weird, And, you know, he was rowdy, and I thought he was a nut. We were going to do this show at Thirsty Whale. And I show up there to the show, fashionably late. So as I'm going in, I'm like, I see a cop, and I see a priest. And I'm like, the fuck are these guys doing here, right?
They're making a joke.
Continue walking on in. Now, as I'm walking in, there's people running around with like these pink shirts on.
So it was like a cop and a priest and Chaz walk into a bar.
Satanist.
Yeah, they were already there, but yeah.
Okay.
So there's people with like pink shirts running around. I'm like, well, what the fuck are all these people with the pink shirts doing here? They were handing out papers, and it was some kind of like, you know, anti-cruelty to animals stuff. Well, after sitting down at the booth with Mike and these other guys there, and I noticed that one of them was this kind of off guy that I had met him before. And he was going to go somewhere and get this, like, it was like a baby goat or a lamb or some shit and bring it back. He goes, yeah, we're going to sacrifice it on stage. So now this guy gets up and he goes, they're going to go do it right now. You know, so I'm sitting there at the fucking table and I'm like going, I go, Mike, you know, that guy's fucking off, man. And Mike didn't say anything, but he was just sitting there and you know, and as time was going on, it's getting closer to going on stage. This guy isn't back yet. I go, dude, you know, if this motherfucker brings this fucking like animal here on fucking stage, I go, what the fuck are you gonna do? You know? And as I'm looking at Mike's like starting to like sweat a little bit, you know? Because I was like, I go, dude, they'll fucking arrest every fucking one of us. It was fucking nuts. And right before that, like we went on stage, you know, the guy like shows up. He's all fucking sweaty. Because wherever he was going to go get this animal or whatever, you know, he was spotted and he got like chased off the property.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, now imagine me. I'm there like walking in the door and I'm sit down and I'm putting all this stuff together and I go, that's why all these people are handing out fucking shit here about like, you know, harming animals.
Yeah.
You got a fucking priest here. The cop's waiting for us. Yeah, it was nuts. But you know, and I was noticing Mike getting fucking nervous as we grew near because he knew this guy was going to be back pretty soon.
But no goats were harmed in the making of that show.
No goats were harmed in the making of that. No,
not that show anyway.
Not that show.
Yeah, it was nuts though. But yeah, I was kind of taken by surprise. Kind of like him drinking the blood at the Coogan show.
Oh yeah.
And nobody told me what was going on. So I'm like, well, what the fuck you guys doing? It's like they're running around and getting kind of giggly to each other and shit. You know, I don't the fuck know what's going on. So I'm on stage and Mike's got like this thing and it's like going, okay, then I'm putting it together right on the canoe. It's like, yeah, he's got fucking blood in that fucking thing.
Ew. It's like a chalice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look over at him and he took a chug of it, you know, to spit it out. And I can tell some of it went down.
Oh.
And I mean, I fucking gagged. You know, so I had to like you know, I gotta look away from it. So he spits his shit up. What a fucking mess.
And it was real blood. I mean,
yeah, it was real blood. And it was funny because guy I know, Jim, come up after me after the show and he goes, oh man, did you see that fake blood shit, man? I go, dude, look at his shirt.
Like it's turning brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brown.
Yeah.
And the guy at Coogan's was so pissed.
Yeah.
Because he had to mop that shit up off the stage.
Yeah, it's different than water and beer.
Yeah. Where'd you get this fake or this real blood? What was it?
I sent my brother to a place called Daiho Market like in Oak Brook.
Yeah.
It's like a
Like a meat
Asian
market.
market.
Okay.
And you can buy
Like a Chinese market. Where else are you gonna
You
find
could
it?
buy blood there, and he bought a couple containers of blood. And, you know, we poured it in a chalice, and it was a Halloween show. So Mike, we stopped, and Mike did the big toast to Satan and all
Yeah.
that, and the rest is history. And then another guy we know was dressed up like a devil, and he jumps up on stage, and he's all into it. And this wasn't planned either,
Yeah.
so he just jumps up on stage and he picks up the chalice and he starts pouring it all over himself. He didn't know it was real blood either.
Yeah.
And he poured it all over himself, and it's like, dude, yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Driving home,
Your
you know.
costume is fucked.
Yeah.
And you're covered in real blood.
I mean, my brother went to a couple shows where they used real blood, and I just couldn't believe he was all into it. I was like, why? Why is that a thing? Like, there's limits. The fake stuff's fine.
Yeah, it was kind of like a one-time weird thing, you know.
It was the Halloween show.
It's a Halloween show.
Halloween show, Morgan. Come on.
That's why they make fake blood for Halloween.
That's why there's real blood also.
But actually, the real blood's cheaper than the fake blood, so
That's
you might as well just get the
crazy.
real blood.
Ew.
There you go, Morgan. There's your answer.
You know, and we're not about being fake. You know, using fake blood would be like using auto-tune or something. You know what I mean? If you're gonna use blood, you use real fucking
Use the
blood.
real stuff.
I'll take
Otherwise,
it
you're
from
just
the
a,
experts.
otherwise you're just a fucking poser.
There you go,
You're
Morgan.
just a fucking poser if you don't use the real shit.
Touche. I gotcha. Makes sense. Well, thanks for dishing on Mike. Now we'll have to see if
Remind
actually,
me never to leave early.
Well, let's see if he even listens to the interview and see if
You
he says
fucking
anything
dicks
to you
after I
guys.
left.
You're supposed to see him what, tomorrow?
Thursday, yeah.
See if he says anything.
No, wait.
Did
You guys got
listen
all
to
that shit wrong.
He don't care. He'll be thankful about the stories we didn't tell.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's for next time. The next time he leaves early, the real dirt comes out. Well, some quick announcements before next week's show, just so we can refresh everybody's memories as to what is going on in the local scene. Prosthetic Records band and Chicago natives Meth is going to be going on tour next week, starting in Auburn on March 1st, and they end their tour in Des Moines, Iowa, March 21st. So make sure you check where they're touring, because they may be near you. Also, happening on March 2nd, next weekend, our friends in Wrath and Bloodletter are going to be playing with Aftermath at Live Wire Lounge in Chicago. So make sure you get tickets now for that. It's presented by Forever Death Fest. Deathlehem is looking to release their 4th album, Maelstrom of the Emerald Dragon. They have a Kickstarter up, and it's their last chance to get 2 double LP vinyl albums. And they are looking to get the end of their goal completed, so make sure you help them out and also help them budget for the Deathlehem movie that they're working on later this year.
Dang.
Big things happening. Hold on, still going. Our friends in On My 6 are selling tickets to the Apollo Theater, their event with All That Remains, Attila, Escape the Fate, and Sleep Signals. They are selling tickets for $25 flat.
Where?
Hit them up. They'll mail and deliver with no fees. The Apollo Theater is in Belvedere.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can check that out.
Oh, never been there.
Victims recently released a cover on Spotify and Apple Music of them doing a cover of The Nameless by Slipknot. You should check that out. It's pretty awesome. They are currently on tour, so you should see if they're coming to a city near you. Lots of good things happening for them, and they're on the road and doing awesome stuff on, like they usually do. They're a very big touring band. So, also, hold on. I've got so much stuff saved from the past couple of weeks because we weren't here last week, so I'm just like losing my mind. Guardsmen have announced their going away party show, which is going to be next month, March 30th at Cairo Ale House with the Almas Orchestra in Black, Vice in Vitteral. So make sure you mark that in your calendars. March 30th, Guardsman is having a going away party because a couple of them are moving to different states. So they wanted to throw a big party before they don't know when they'll play their next show. So, and next week at Schaumburg's Binnie's, Charlie Bennett from Anthrax is going to be doing a meet and greet for their beer war dance. So he's going to be out at the Binnie's from 1 to 3, and you can do a beer tasting and then a meet and greet with him. That's their drummer, for those that don't know Charlie, which you should, but that's pretty awesome. And then our friends in Lucifist are coming in from Indiana. They're going to be headlining Cobra Lounge March 15th with Wraith, Air Raid, and Skeletal Prison. You should mark your calendars for that. Our friends in Fool's Brew this Thursday are going to be playing the House of Blues with Faith in the Fallen, Comfort Scarcity, Face the Fire, and Bullet to the Heart. It's free if you get the voucher from Fool's Brew and show up to the venue before 7. So hit the band up for tickets to that. That is Thursday, February 21st. There's still time to hit up the band. And a very important event going on this coming weekend. This is huge for a lot of bands. It's the Battle for Vakken. It's going to be happening at Cobra Lounge. Our friends in Vice are playing. Heart of Jordan from Michigan is coming down to also play. Terranaut is playing, and Fierce Atmospheres. These are bands that have been on our show. So you should definitely go out to Cobra Lounge this coming Saturday. Battle for Vakken. It's $10, and it starts at 7. It's 18 and up. So tickets you can also buy online. Our friends in Warforged announced that May 10th via the Artesian Era, they have pre-sales going on for their album I Voice. And you can get bundles and pre-order for the CD and everything off of their Facebook page. And a very exciting thing that we did this weekend, we released Breakdowns in Bentleys, the Post Malone cover album, finally got released. Thanks to John McKenna for putting that all together. There are 8 awesome tracks. They are all right now currently up on our YouTube channel. The more we have to get the rest of the formats to release it onto Bandcamp, but each of the bands chose a Post Malone song off of the Beer Bongs and Bentleys album, and they did a cover of it. It came out pretty fucking awesome, and so we're going to be planning on doing another compilation cover album coming up, but that won't be for a little bit. But there's talks of a second one happening, so make sure right now you just go to our YouTube channel, The Metal Experience, at youtube.com. We've shared it on our Facebook page, and all the other bands have shared their tracks as well. So make sure you check out and support all the bands that were a part of it. It was a really awesome thing to get to see the response this weekend for that. So want to thank John for putting that together and all the bands that participated. And Speaking with Ghosts actually did a music video for their song, so that was pretty cool to see as well. So next week we are going to be back at Fits of Spare Keys. We are back in action doing shows, and we're going to be welcoming for the first time on our show Reanimate the Fallen. We'll be here from 8 p.m. till about 10:30, 11. So if you can join us, come on out, Reanimate the Fallen, with special guest host, our friend Eric Oldman from Sons of Raz, coming in to help us. And he's got some exciting news, he said, to talk about for his other band, the first band that I actually ever interviewed, Beneath the Stairs.
Really?
Yeah. So good things happening with that, and we're looking forward to seeing Eric and Reanimate the Fallen. And hopefully next time Funeral Nation comes on, big news for tours and all the awesome places that you guys get to travel to, and awesome pictures that we get to see of the South American shows that you're playing. I'm very excited to see all about it on the interwebs coming up.
And the Good Vibes, the European show, is back on.
It could happen, we hope.
I mean, by good European vibes, we mean Funeral Nation's Asian Invasion.
Either one.
Either one.
As long as Chaz has vacation time available, we're ready to rock.
There we go.
What does your fellow employees think of your band? Have you guys shown your work people what you guys do in your free time?
Well, at my last job, my partner was a Christian, born again Christian, so that didn't work out.
Oh man,
totally well. You know, what more can I say? We didn't approve of each other's lifestyles.
Okay,
that's all I thought, he's like one of the biggest jerk offs I've ever met, but he's walking around calling himself a fucking Christian when he's a total piece of shit. And I can see how he, treats and acts to people, but I'm a Christian and I put my 10% in the basket every Sunday.
My God.
But dude, you're a total piece of shit for life. And but you justify yourself because you say you're a Christian. So Chaz, how do your coworkers feel about it?
I don't talk to I don't like my coworkers too much.
Just
probably a good
do the
move.
work and
Probably the
leave.
better way to do it.
I go to work, do my shit, and leave.
Well,
Hell
if your
yeah.
coworkers hear this, just know that you work among rock stars. And we have one more Funeral Nation track to play tonight and to keep you wanting more. So what is the last track tonight that you would like to play?
Dane?
I already picked two. It's your turn.
Chaz.
You have anything that involves burning churches?
Church burning songs.
How about Apocalypse?
You got any of them church burning songs?
Yeah. Good old family song.
Okay, church burners. Let's go with Maniac.
That's a short one.
Maniac.
That's a psycho.
Woo!
That's a killer song. It's a thrasher song. Yeah.
Hey,
That
that's
about
what
burning
Chaz
churches.
wants.
good.
That's what Chaz gets. I'm going to leave it with Maniac for tonight, the last track for Funeral Nation. And you guys have all your albums available. Can you buy through your website all your merch that you have
We've
available?
got tons of stuff you can get through our website, through our Facebook page. Please. This shit takes up too much space in our studio. It's like giveaway prices. And get it now before the fucking USPS raises their rates again.
Oh my God, it's atrocious. So buy Funeral Nation stuff. Make sure you follow them on the interwebs, Facebook. You can communicate, Bandcamp, their website.
And we're now on Spotify as well.
Spotify. Good things to have. Well, thank you guys for coming back for your third time with more exciting stories and updates.
Well,
we love having you guys out here. It's really, really cool to see a group that's been together on and off for 30 years, but have so much history and have seen so much growth in the industry and still want to keep going. That's awesome.
So we have to schedule a fourth time to see how the tour went.
Duh.
Well, hopefully there'll be several tours.
Yes.
Several tours.
Hopefully.
A lot of land to conquer.
Yeah.
A lot of land to a
Yeah.
lot of land to conquer.
So here is
That
the
could
last
be
track
the,
of the night. Here is
BW.
Funeral Nation's song, Maniac. See you next week.
Yeah.
A lot of land to conquer.
Voices in your mind, until they keep me where the rhythm's not clear, but you don't even care. You feel the tension pull, the trail starts to flow. You don't know where you're at or where you want to go. Everything's free, I feel the sea.